Even though we are still over a year away from Stranger Things Season 5, maybe even 2 years at this point, that does not mean we cannot be excited about what's to come in the new season. So today for you guys, I have a brand new filming update, how the production's going, what's behind the scenes, who's filming, what's being filmed, all of the above, and I'm super excited to share that with you guys and give my thoughts and maybe some little theories here and there about what potentially could be going on behind the scenes right now regarding Stranger Things Season 5. Before I get into it, guys, be sure to drop a like. Let's go for 60 likes on this video. Share this video with a friend if you could. That would mean a lot because this is a brand new channel after all. And of course, subscribe if you are brand new because we are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. And yeah, guys, without further ado, let's get right into this video. So I think the first filming update that caught my eye since my previous filming update was the fact that they showed a behind the scenes picture of Will Byers in the Upside Down next to his younger self in the Upside Down. Now, of course, I think this is going to be the opening scene of Season 5, because of what the Stranger Things writers have talked about before regarding the first scene in Season 5, which was the script that we saw. They tweeted out, it said something about the cold wind in a person singing a familiar song. I'll put it up on the screen, but that's like the opening scene. So I think this picture that they showed us in the Instagram Stranger Things broadcast channel, whatever, is an example, or is a what do you even call it? A sneak peek of the first scene, of the literal first scene. I think Will's going to be there next to his younger self, or that's going to be a flashback later on the show. But either way, I found that very interesting. Arguably, the news that I'm most excited about is the fact that VFX is in progress. Yes, you heard that right. VFX is already in progress. If you don't know what VFX is, it's basically the editing process of the episodes of the, filming that's already been done. So they're editing the scenes that have been filmed. Now, what are they editing? We don't exactly know, but we can theorize here and there. I told this to the people in the Discord, but I would say my conservative reaction would be that they probably filmed certain scenes that require a lot of editing, such as the radio tower that is already confirmed to have CGI, and they're probably just editing certain scenes that may or may not take longer, when they're in the editing process. So they're already starting on them now. And then I said my overreaction would be they already filmed season 5 episode 1 and they're editing right now and they're trying to finish one episode by one episode. But of course that's probably not the case because when production teams film TV seasons, they usually bounce around from scene to scene to piece it all together. But who knows? I don't really know exactly how Stranger Things 5 operates, but that would be my conservative versus my overreaction to that news. Either way though, VFX being announced that it's in progress is huge news. That does not mean that we're going to get Season 5 this summer. That does not mean that, but that does mean that maybe they are prioritizing getting this release out ASAP, and when I say as soon as possible, like before 2026. I think that they do have in the back of their mind that they did have 2025 in the in their sights before the writer's strike happened, and I think they still want to aim for that release date. I don't know when their original release date goal was, but I would assume they're still aiming for that, and that's probably still in their vision. So potentially they are aiming for a 2025 summer release date by editing as they're filming to get, double of the amount of work done. So it might take long for this season to release, but the least we can do is appreciate the people who are working on this because obviously they care about our opinions and about what we want the show to be and, all that stuff. Another video that they released today was a video of the set of the Rainbow Room in Hawkins' lab. And I think this is huge news. Not only because the Rainbow Room is just represents of what Stranger Things is all about, MK Ultra, the test experiments, the young children being test subjects and basically lab rats. It's the best part of the show in my opinion because the storyline is so interesting. But seeing the Rainbow Room is a part of Season 5 basically means that we're going to get more lore. We're going to get another lore dump, of that lab storyline. And I think there's still so much to uncover about that storyline. So seeing the Rainbow Room is a very good sign in my opinion. That means that Season 5 is still going to have that interesting lore about Hawkins' lab, about Eleven's backstory, hopefully about Dr. Owens, about Dr. Brenner even more. hopefully about Callie/8. So that's positive news that we're seeing the Rainbow Room being teased in the broadcast channel. Another thing that I noticed is due to all the pictures that they've been releasing in the broadcast channel, they've released a lot of behind the scenes images at the Wheeler house. So they're doing a lot of filming at the Wheeler house, which I thought was very interesting. Maybe the Wheeler house is going to be used as the main hub in season 5 where all the groups going to meet up or whatever. I could see that going on, or maybe that's just where one group is, or maybe that's where they are in the first few episodes, and that's why they've been here so much at first. I don't really know, but either way, I find it pretty interesting that they're at the Wheeler house more so than other locations so far. I haven't done a filming update in a while, but we do know now that they have done a decent amount of filming at the hospital with Max and Lucas there in the same room. Max, of course, in her bed, in her coma. So they've already done scenes, so we can expect Max and Lucas to be in the early parts of, season 5. Max or Lucas probably just sitting there with Max, praying that she wakes up or whatever. So that's pretty interesting. Nothing really, breaking news there, but at least we know that Max is going to be a part of season 5 in a pretty big way. Obviously, the radio station set is awesome. It's huge. It's unique. It's another new location where they're going to be filming. But another thing that I noticed surrounding the radio station, I guess, storyline or aura, whatever, is they were filming at this new clubhouse, or I don't know what you call it. It's losing, but what golf courses where they have the country clubs. That's what it is, not clubhouse. They were filming at a new country club, and outside of the country club was a car. I think it was Steve's car, the red one, the red like station wagon looking thing. And on top of that car were 2 like old antennas. So it got me thinking, like, obviously they went to the radio station at first for 11 to get power, I would assume. Like, she needs as much electricity as she can get or whatever. And I would assume them having antennas in the car is almost like power on the go for 11. If they're trying to travel to certain places and still have as much power as they can for her. I don't really know. That's just what popped up in my mind. Maybe that's like totally wrong and they're just using the radio tower in the car to like communicate. That could also be the case, but either way, I found that very interesting. And notable side characters who have been filming so far is Vicky. She actually had her own personal video teaser that we all seen on Twitter or whatever. So she's done some filming. And Murray has been there and done filming. He hasn't really spoken on it at all yet, but we did see him in some behind the scenes pictures. And the biggest one that I've noticed, and I'm going to be talking about her more in the future, is Karen, aka Carabuno. She's been filming a lot. It feels like, or she's just like a part of, I don't know, or she's just talking about it more than other actors, which, some actors are more comfortable sharing their acting lives on social media, but a lot of actors like to keep that separate. They like to keep their real life and their acting life separate. But Carabuno has been talking, posting pictures behind the scenes of her filming, and she's been teased a lot in behind the scenes pictures. I think Karen has done a decent amount of filming. Like, I've seen more behind the scenes pictures of Karen and more behind the scenes teasers of Karen than I have of Joyce, Hopper, Eleven, Mike, of all these huge characters, and I don't think anybody's really talking about it. I find it very interesting that Karen seems to be filming a lot more than usual. But then again, I wasn't really into the filming process, for all the previous seasons, so I don't really know. Maybe this is how it usually is. But either way, I think that is pretty big news right there, that Karen is having a decent amount of screen time. At least it feels like it. So I think that goes along with what the Duffers said in an interview a few months back. I remember them specifically saying, I don't know if this is word for word, so do not quote me, but they did say something along these lines for sure. They said something about how the parents are going to be more clued in or in the loop than previous seasons. And I think when they said parents, they were definitely referring to Karen more so than Ted or Lucas's parents, because I feel like as far as parents go, Joyce obviously is the biggest parent, and then Karen, I think, is next up. Obviously Hopper, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I don't think Ted is going to be clued in on what's going on. I think he's going to keep his little his little delusion and obliviousness. I don't know if that's a word, but he's going to keep being oblivious in season 5 because I feel like that storyline is just hilarious for people like me who have dry humor. He's just like that classic Midwest old dad who thinks he knows everything and the government's always right, never lying to him or whatever. Who just watches, news on the TV. That's Ted Wheeler. I don't think he's going to be like clued in like Karen, but I think them saying that back in that interview could be hinting of what, like that could be a sign of why Karen's been filming and showing herself a lot during the filming process. Sometimes during these behind the scenes, updates or whatever, I kind of just get really curious on why they don't show like Eleven more, Mike more, Will more, or just the main characters in general. They tend to show the side characters a lot more, seems like. I don't really know. Like some characters are just featured more than others in the behind the scenes. I don't know if that's like the actor's preference or they're trying not to spoil anything. Also, another thing that I've noticed in the behind the scenes, whenever, paparazzi is stalking them or whatever filming, a lot of them say that in some places security is locked down. Like, at the university that they were at, I believe they were filming, you couldn't get within like 0.5 miles of the property. Like obviously it was private property, but usually you can just like go, see from afar. They couldn't even get near it. Like there was security like 0.5 miles away from the location. Like some places are really locked down security and other places are like, oh yeah, this is on a public path. You can just walk through like the woods where they have the upside down. You can just walk through it and just videotape it. It's legal. It's public property. But whenever it's like, I guess a more important set, like they have security on lockdown, which is very interesting. That was also the case at Hawkins Lab, where they couldn't even drive into the parking lot. Sometimes you can drive into the parking lot, and people have literally been inside. I've been in the parking lot of Hawkins Lab, not when they were filming, but just in general, and people have been inside that building. But this time you couldn't even like get close to it. Like you could drive past it, but that's it. So it's very interesting how the security is. I kind of like hearing about that and researching that because I feel like that shows the importance of the scene, and maybe, just maybe, that is when maybe a character returns or there's a character that we're not supposed to know that's going to be in the show is there filming, and they don't want any paparazzi to know that so it doesn't get leaked. But overall, that's pretty much the filming update so far. I hope they don't do another photo dump tomorrow because then I'll miss all of that in this video. But this video is going to be posted on Thursday. There could be another update tomorrow. Who knows? If there is, I will be posting all the updates on Instagram, on my Twitter, on my TikTok. So if you guys want to follow all those socials, the link tree for my Discord, all that stuff is in the description. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate you guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.